Breaking news at the top of this half hour. President Trump sharing on his Truth Social platform that a deal with Iran is complete. The president says the Strait of Hormuz is open and says he authorized the full removal of the U.S. naval blockade. THV 11 learned this new information within the last 30 minutes and plan to have more updates tonight at 10. And breaking in Missouri, authorities are treating a deadly plane crash as a mass casualty event. Bates County deputies say skydivers were on board the planes as it crashed down around 11:30 this morning. 12 people were killed, and right now the FAA is investigating the cause of the crash. Thanks for making THV 11 the ones to trust. I'm Tamer Knight alongside meteorologist Simone Thomas. And Simone, it's a lot to get to tonight, but let's first take a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we managed to stay mainly dry in the Little Rock metro. We did get some rain overnight, but looking at the weekend as a whole, some of the heaviest rainfall has been picked up across northern portions of the state, with a little bit of west central Arkansas with that little blob of orange between Montgomery, Pike counties and over into Clark County. But definitely been seeing the highest totals just north of that I-40 line. These swaths of oranges into red you see is radar estimates of 2 to 3 inches of rain that has fallen over the past 2 days. So definitely some beneficial rainfall. The blues you see otherwise statewide, darker the blue, a little bit closer to an inch of rain. The lighter the blue basically are generally under an inch of rain, but most of the state at least picking up on some trace amounts. As we look ahead to this evening, much of the rainfall is to our south and east. That cold front we were talking about yesterday has worked its way through the state pretty much right now just south of that Arkla Mist border that you can kind of almost see that line of demarcation with where we're seeing those storms. As we continue through the evening, stray shower can't be ruled out, but really looking to just be cloudy overnight. We'll talk more about the rest of your work week coming up in that 7-day outlook.
Thank you, Simone. THV 11 has learned more on a shooting that deputies in Pulaski County say left 2 people injured. The Pulaski County Sheriff's Office say they were called to Mimosa Road in North Little Rock in response to gunshots. Upon arrival, authorities say 2 people were found suffering from gunshot wounds, and investigators say all of this went down Saturday night. Authorities have not shared the identity of the people who they say were shot, but the victims were taken to a nearby hospital for treatment. This incident remains an active investigation, and we will continue to follow this story as more details become available. And someone is in custody this evening after Stuttgart police says shots were fired at the John Cain Aquatic Center. Officers responded just before 5 o'clock Saturday and found 3 juveniles suffering from gunshot wounds. With assistance from Arkansas County Sheriff's Office, a suspect was taken into custody. Officials say the aquatic center is closed until further notice. Advocates in Arkansas are raising concerns about the number of children who remain uninsured across the state, according to a new report. The 2026 Kids Count Data book puts Arkansas at 48th in the nation for child health and 43rd overall for child well-being. Advocates say they believe the problem came from parents who lost their coverage during the Medicaid unwinding process after the pandemic and incorrectly assumed their children were no longer eligible for insurance. Supporters say the challenge now is making sure those parents are aware of the resources available for them and their kids.
The Our Kids First program, that was developed many years ago. It was actually created under Governor Mike Huckabee. And when that happened, we decreased and cut our rate of children that were uninsured in half.
Our Kids First provides health care to thousands of Arkansas children and covers a range of services. In continued coverage, more than 1,000 people are expected to attend tonight's UFC fight on the South Lawn of the White House. They will gather under a towering 60-foot rig called the Claw. It's going down as the president celebrates his 80th birthday. The Trump administration says this is just one of many events planned to celebrate America's 250th. But critics argue against the timing.
It just kind of feels wrong inherently right now. I would wish there was less happening in the world, and I would probably feel a little better about it.
The UFC fight comes as the White House said repeatedly over the weekend they're working on a deal with Iran. President Trump under an hour ago said a deal had been reached, and we'll have more on that tonight at 10. Arkansas cities are ready to celebrate the nation's birthday. A look at Benton's festive decor when we return. Plus, an Arkansas children's flight nurse has spent nearly 3 decades helping kids in crisis. I introduce who she is when we come back.
Well, cooler temperatures and lower humidity at the top of the week gives us a nice start to the week. We will see some slight rebounds middle part of the week and into next weekend with those heat indices, but generally a nice week ahead of us. Full details are coming up right after the break.